The student workbook is a kid-friendly way to learn and practice individual letters. There are a lot of pre-writing lessons in the beginning of the book. Students are introduced to each of the key concepts through simple yet fun learning pages. First is the lesson to make sure that everyone's using the same name for the writing lines. Next are the letter lines like standing tall lines, lying down lines, slant lines, super C, smiles and frowns, and clock lines. Large paths allow the kids to practice making each type of letter line. After that, kids learn about starting points. They'll practice drawing them at the exact spot where their pencils will begin to make a letter. Then count the touch points and enter the number of touches into a box. There's also a whole separate lesson on Super C. The Stars and Dice page teaches children how to score for star worthiness and roll the dice. Then comes the biggie, ta-da, letter size along with the rules. Once the children review the checklist and the lessons they've just completed, it's on to the practice pages themselves. Each practice page has 10 lessons of its own. The first is simply identifying the letter size. The color of the box at the upper right corner gives children a cue. Analyzing the different letter lines that comprise the letter is next. Students must record how many of each is present. Next is counting the touches. Use your pen point to indicate all the exact touch points between the letter lines and the writing lines, or the letter lines with each other. Marking the starting point on the big letter follows, along with tracing the initial letter line. After that, it's a game of figuring out which is star-worthy and which letter is not. Ask the children to tell you why. Is it too high, too low, floating in the middle? Trace it, make it in the large letter box as the first practice. Be sure to encourage students to touch the writing lines precisely. Then it's time for children to engage in their own dice game. Roll, record, print, and score. Keep up the routine until they fill both lines. Hope they get perfect scores each time. Color the black and white comic using sharpened colored pencils. Demonstrate the distal mobility required to fit their strokes into the detailed areas. Let them know that this cartoon is part of a two-frame story. The lowercase letter tells the end of the story. If more practice is needed, the companion activity book is listed in the lower corner. Lots of fun, lots of learning, lots of neat printing lies ahead. Enjoy!